battle out on the circuit for the OKN Junior Academy program. The final 17 laps, 24.5 kilometer race distance. It is a long lap around this 1.4 kilometer circuit. So much drama, and of course one of the Discover Your Drive initiative drivers. They will start on row number 1. Australia and Spain locking out that row. Row number 2, William Marshall, second and a third earlier on. He'll have Xavier Dudkovsky starting alongside, 5th in qualifying and 2 fourth places. Row number 3 sees Casper Reipol, current championship leader, starting on the 3rd row of the grid after having 2 5th place finishes. He's got Connor Clancy. Toby Gale and Case Aziza go from row 4. Good results for them. They will have Isaac Say and Dinia Islamov from Kazakhstan on row number 5. They round out the top 10. Row number 6 is Leonidas Peruzzi with Japan's Sara Matsui starting alongside another one of the 3 Discover Your Drive drivers. Row number 7 sees Vanessa Schilkenate and Ella Hakkinen. Again, good results for both of them over the course of this weekend. Good results at Cremona as well. What can they do here in the final at Valencia? Nilis Malik and Egon Prodrotti, who's been a driver you need to keep an eye on. He's made positions all the way throughout this weekend. They'll have Axel Nocom and Matthias Wittfer starting just behind them on row number 9. Row 10 and the top 20 sees Sofia Pavaznaya and Flavio Cadia from Belgium. They round out the top 20 on row 10. Row 11 is Michaela Hart in her first appearance in the championship this weekend. We'll have Sanjana Dandu alongside. Amelia Vishamieska and Katrina E go from row 12. They give us our top 24 out on circuit. Max Murray and Oscar Gallin go from the 13th row of the grid, rounding out the top 26. Gallin having some good results earlier on. Row 14, Karine Kaur and Charles Troxler, another new driver joining us into this weekend. They start on row 14 with Amir Adrezen and Vera Jurland on row number 15. They round out the top 30. Enna Pizzuto and Sujana Dandu, they go from row 16. They'll have Christian Ebres and Marcel Zabella on row 17, just behind. It's a very packed and condensed grid of this one, of 36 drivers. The final row of the grid sees our last of our Discover Your Drive initiative drivers, Victoria Farfus, starting alongside Zachariah Dole. The 4th row just behind will have the likes of Toby Gale, who qualified 16th in qualifying, has 2 7th place finishes to his name. And, well, Toby Gale from Thailand is a driver that I think these other drivers need to be concerned about here, because Gale is a quick peddler. He was quick at Cremona, certainly wanting to really put that effort and that development that they took from Cremona here to Spain in Valencia. Can he keep that momentum up? That is the ultimate test of the young driver from Thailand, who is going to be starting P7, 4th row of the grid. This track, completely different to the circuit we raced at the first time around at Cremona, as the whistle blows and the drivers make their way off to their formation laps. 2 formation laps for the grid then as they get going. The ultimate question here is that, do everyone get going? Does everyone get going here? I think they do. Let's quickly go through the grid once more then. James Anagnoscianis from Angelina Simmons going from row 1. William Marshall and Xavier Dudkovsky going from row 2. Casper Reipol and Connor Clancy, they go from row 3 with Toby Gale and Case Aziza alongside on row 4. Isaac Say and Dinia Islamov on row 5. They'll have Leonidas Peruzzi and Sara Matsui on row 6. Vanessa Schilkenate and Ella Hakkinen go from row 7. From Nilis Malik and Egon Prodrotti on row 8. Axel Nocom and Matthias Wittfer go from row 9. From Sofia Pavaznaya and Flavio Cadia on the top 20 on row 10. Michaela Hart and Sanjana Dandu on row 11. Amelia Vishamieska and Katrina E go from row 12. Max Murray and Oscar Gallin on row 13, with Karine Kaur and Charles Troxler on row 14. Amir Adrezen and Vera Jurland go from row 15, from Enna Pizzuto and Sujana Dandu on row 16. Christian Ebres, Marcel Sabula, Victoria Farfus and Zachariah Dole. That is a driver going no further, and it is Nilis Malik, unfortunately, out of this final. And you can see there, these weekends, they are so important for the drivers, and to be out on the first, well, not even the first lap, on the first form-up lap is a disaster. And you just think, well, you're going to have to watch the entire race from, I think that's turn 1, actually. Yes, it is. That is the exit of turn 1. There you can see race control, keeping an eye on all the racing throughout this one. Joanna Falcao, head of race control, being helped alongside Gonzalo Planta. There, the two of them watching all of the about 34 cameras that are spruaned out over the course of the circuit. They honestly will not miss a thing out there, so drivers do have to be careful with everything. Track limits, contact, anything, tramline infringements, overtaking under yellows, anything like that. You just cannot get away with it, so the ultimate thing is just don't do it. There we go. Live on board here, Toby Gale, the driver who is starting a little further down in the field on the 4th row of the grid, P7, will give us a driver's eye view of what it's like to start a final here at Valencia as we get ready to go racing. Drivers heading in then towards the final chicane, all lined up, ready to go. 36 karts, a full grid for the Junior OKN category here at Valencia. Champions of the Future Academy program. It's round 2, and it's, are we green? I think we are. No, are we going round again? I think we're going round again. It is a false start. Yes, it is a false start. So the field do go round again. I think that was just a little bit eager there at the front of the grid. Looked like maybe James Anagnosiadis has got the power a bit too early. Or actually, it might have something to do with this. 2 drivers off the track. It's the 30 and the 33. Now that is Marcel Sabella and Sakura Dole, who would have been starting 34th and 36th on track. They are out of this one as well before it's even started. So that is 3 drivers now out of this race. Nilas Malik, of course, we saw earlier on, the driver from Denmark, who would have been starting P15 in this one, as he is also out. So now we're down to 33 runners. Actually, is that another one that's off the track? Who's that? Is that Vera Jöland? I think it is. Vera Jöland, unfortunately, also out of this race. She was the driver of the number 22 from Sweden. I think she is also out of this final, walking away to the marshal post. So that now is 4 karts out of this race before we've even started the final. That is suboptimal for the category, to say the least. And yeah, you can see the karts all spruaned out over the final corner there. Well, this will make it difficult for the drivers, because now there's going to be a load of gaps there in the grid, and they have to maintain those gaps. They can't close those gaps up. Those positions have to stay the same. They are not allowed to bunch up into one big group. Here we go then. Are we going this time? The answer to that is yes. We get that green light. We go racing down and towards turn 1. Anagnosiadis holds on to the race lead as they all go through. Bit of contact there in the mid-pack, but everyone holds on to position. There is more. Is that more of the karts that went off earlier on? No, that's the 49. That's Karine Kaur, also out of this race. So that's another driver out, I think, before the race even started. So that is disastrous. The race, though, does continue. Everyone's got through turns 2 and 3 clearly. And now they make their way onto the onto the infield straight now in towards turn number 11. It's a clear getaway for James Anagnosiadis. He's already opened up a gap. It looks like Simmons is there, and there you can see a collection of drivers already there at the final chicane. That is not what you want to see at all. Yes, confirmation, it is Angelina Simmons there in second place. She managed to get that second place spot despite dropping back into the field at the start of it. She holds on to it. So, across the line they go. It's Anagnosiadis from Simmons, Marshall, then it's Clancy, Aziza, Ripold, Gale, Islamov. In that top one, there's contact on the start-finish straight right in front of it. There's the dust. You can see the kart off the track. I think it's the number 50 that's off the circuit, and that is Amaru Adrinzen, unfortunately. The driver from Peru, in his first appearance in the Champions of the Future Academy program, is out of this race as well. Thankfully, I believe he is okay. You can see the marshals there attending to him. We get a thumbs up from the marshalling crew. He is okay, but very scary moment then on the start-finish line. So that is several retirements in this race already, and we're still only on lap 2. It's more drama on the circuit. Katrina E is out of this race. Katrina E, another retirement in the early stages of this race, and that is heavy damage to the front of her kart. So something clearly didn't go well in that opening lap. Well, despite that, we still do have a race underway as Max Murray goes under investigation. James Anagnosiadis ahead of Angelina Simmons, William Marshall, the 3 names that have been the 3 contenders in these qualifying heats, have started to break away a little bit in close competition with Connor Clancy. Conor Clancy in his first appearance at this circuit, really looking strong here and has latched on there in P4. Case Aziza, who has closed in, is actually there in P5. Case Aziza might be a contender on this one. Was very quick in Cremona, now looking quick here in Valencia, is up 3 places and is in P5. And as you can see from that picture there, is very much within touching distance of the 4 ahead. So long way to go in this race then. But still, Anagnostiadis leads the way. Let's have a little look further back in the grid, the biggest movers. And, well, carbon copy of what we saw earlier on, as we'll cut to the back here, because down the inside, Simmons, Torres under pressure. William Marshall up to P2 now. Down the inside, Clancy closes in as well. Conor Clancy might have a run here. Looks to the inside and gets down the inside. Up into P3. It's Conor Clancy now trying to hunt down William Marshall and James Anagnostiadis. I'm going to cut back to what I was talking about earlier on, because they're now with the fastest lap of the race. Victoria Farfus, 57.062. Very quick time, and is scything her way through the field. She is up 16 places in this race from the back of the grid. The Brazilian is into P19, and we are only on lap number 4 now. If she keeps that momentum up, she'll be fighting with this lead pack at the end of the race. More drama just in the background there. I think that's Peruzzi trying to get down the inside of Dinia Islamov. There was a change further back, though. Ella Häkkinen got the move done as well. Islamov actually got ahead of Gale on that last lap, so that was the move that we saw just behind us. Their confirmation, Victoria Farfus. Look at that. DNF in qualifying, didn't set a time in qualifying. That's what's put it all the way back to the back of the grid in this one. Qualifying heat 1 and 2 did not go away. She couldn't make those positions up. 35th and a 30th, but in this final, well, I think she was just saving those tyres then, maybe. Just thinking, oh, I'm going to sit back a little bit, let these races unfold, look after the tyres, and then really push it in that final. And I think that's worked out for her. On board here with Toby Gale, who is pushing his way through very, very nicely here. And you can see him there, well, he's communicating quite clearly there with Dinia Islamov, just saying, don't defend, keep going, keep pushing up to the drivers in front. You can see there under braking how much he can close in under braking there into that final chicane. He is right in that toe. Clancy looking to the inside there of Marshall. I thought that move was on there, but Marshall just slams the door closed through turn 1. Battle for P3 is on here. They need to be careful here. Clancy wants to get that second place. I feel like he's got the pace, he's got the speed now to close up to Anagnostiadis. But the ultimate test here is that if he does do that overtake, he exposes he exposes this position, really, because Anagnostiadis will be able to just break away on that one. If he doesn't time it perfectly, which he's going to do now, down the inside, was that the perfect timing? Was that the right time to do it for Conor Clancy? Did he lose too much time there to James Anagnostiadis? You can see the gap's opened up now. It was half a second. We'll see what it is when they next cross the timing beam. Oh, they're definitely going to lose time now to him, because Marshall resends it down the inside through that final chicane and retakes second place. Now, here comes Case Aziza to the inside. Oh, there's contact. Sideways goes Angelina Simmons. And amazing kart control means she holds on to it, and she only drops down to P6. Reipold goes through, but that is as close as you would like to get it. Case Aziza and Angelina Simmons, contact between the two of them, and Simmons down to P6 now. So that is a real big shame, but I am sure she will fight back in this one as Ella Häkkinen sets the fastest lap of the race. She's just in the top 10 now in P10 behind Toby Gale. So the battle in the top 10 still very much on at the moment as Anagnostiadis continues to try and break away here from the rest of the field. There is Reipold just ahead. And Reipold, you can see there's a big dent in that front nose cone there. You can see it there from that shot. That's got to be careful here. He's going to be careful even more now as down the inside goes Angelina Simmons. And, well, the number 44, Case Aziza, after the incident that happened at turn 1, the contact has been reviewed and the in-race time penalty has come to Case Aziza's way. The driver in 4th place has just received an in-race 5-second time penalty. Black and white flag has gone his way as we go on board back with Toby Gale here. Only down 2 places in this race. Started P7, currently P9. right on that rear bumper, but with that penalty, of course, for Case Aziza, we'll gain another one here. That 5 seconds will put Case Aziza right down in the order here. That'll be a disaster if the race finished at this point. But you can see here the train still forming, and it's being led here by Case Aziza, who I think is only now about to see that warning flag. So be curious to see his reaction to this. Across the line, no, yeah, there was a reaction there. Your head dipping down, thinking, yeah, oh no, that's, yeah, gone my way. So he's now really got to think, I've got to try close in now. He's got nothing to lose apart from pushing away from the drivers behind him. So Case Aziza, who's currently there in P5, who I think he's actually just lost out to Angelina Simmons now, who's managed to get back past. So Simmons getting retaliation there, but just with an overtake back into P4. Right then, weekend results for these two here. William Marshall and Connor Clancy. Good results all the way throughout them. Qualifying for Marshall P2, Clancy P9, and Clancy finds himself battling with Marshall now for the top 3 in this race. You can see there Marshall with the 2nd, the 3rd, Clancy with 6th and 8th and all of that. But the live positions right here, they're now battling with each other. So this is a brand new driver that Marshall's not raced against right now so far this weekend. He'll have been aware of Connor Clancy into this weekend, but he won't have been going wheel to wheel with him at any point so far this weekend. Now they do, and in towards turn 3 they go. We still see no change between the two of them. Clancy's up 3 places so far in this race. Marshall up the 1. So Anagnostiidis just again controlling his race. Flag to flag he's looking for here. The gap 1.2 seconds. But the idea of Marshall and Clancy working together to try and close that gap up is the ultimate test here. Can they do that? Because, well, they've got enough time for it. We're on lap 10 of 17. Still 7 laps to go in this race. So there is still time for Marshall and Clancy to close in. The question is, can they? That's not going to help close in further back, though. Down the inside. What? Reipold absolutely wheel to wheel there with Case Aziza. That is as close as you'd like to get it through that chicane. You can see them just clipping those curves. The rest of the field going through the shot there. You can see the trains forming there. The battles happening thick and fast all the way throughout the circuit. Update further back in the field as we keep an eye on this second place battle on your screen. Big movers happening. Egon Perotti 3 positions gained. Victoria Farfus update. The driver from Brazil up to P15 now. 20 places gained for Victoria Farfus. She is really, really pushing her way through the field on this one. An absolutely fantastic drive from the young Brazilian. Max Murray's in tow of that as well. It's following suit. 9 places gained for Max Murray, as well as Oscar Gallin, who's gained 9 places. Amelia Veshemirsko's gained 5 places, and Michaela Hart in her first appearance in the Champions of the Future Academy program. She is also up 2 positions in this race. So they're all in tow of Victoria Farfus, who's looking to try and get past Egon Perotti next. And as I say that, I think Max Murray's just got past Victoria Farfus. So there we go. She's in a close battle in the middle of this pack here as we keep watching this second place battle here. Still no change between Marshall and Clancy. They stay line astern right now. No battles happening between them, and they've got a consistency now in this race. You can see slight setups there changing. This is the replay here. Toby Gale, Ella Hakkinen just in front. Actually, no, Ella Hakkinen getting in front down the inside of the driver from Thailand and moves up another position. Hakkinen now up a good spot of places now. Ella Hakkinen currently sitting in P8, 6 places gained. Eyes on this one here. This is probably the closest it's been now. Well, William Marshall communicates with Connor Clancy there, saying, right, let's go and hunt down James Anagnostiidis. The question is, we're on lap 13 of 17. Is there enough time for these drivers to close in? That's the ultimate question. The gap's 1.3. And looking at their sector time, sector 1 on that last one, both of them are actually slower than Anagnostiidis ahead. So I think the answer to that is probably going to be no. I think Anagnostiidis, pending anything that's happening, of course, I'll touch wood. I know commentators' curse is a real thing, so I'll apologise in advance if anything happens. But Anagnostiidis, I think he's good at where he is at the moment. He's 1.5 second clear now. The gap just keeps increasing as another warning flag is going out. This time, it's going out to Max Murray, the number 17. Unfortunately, he is going to see a warning flag, and that's going to add a 5-second time penalty to his name, despite the fact that he is up 10 positions in this race. Marshall and Clancy then here, second and third, are not closing in on first place Anagnostidis, but however, Angelina Simmons is closing in on these two. We might have a different driver on the podium here, and could it be in the form of one of the Discover Your Drive Initiative drivers, Angelina Simmons, who put it on pole position in qualifying this morning, now has started to close back in on these top two, or top three drivers, I should say, but two of them here are under pressure now. Marshall and Clancy, as dramas happen further down in the order, that is off the track. The number, I think that's the 39. Unfortunately, that will go no further, and that would be a big shame. Just trying to see who that possibly could be on my screen. Oh, it's Isaac Say. Isaac Say in the number 39 has tumbled down the order. Yeah, Isaac Say, who started this race on P9 on the 5th row of the grid, unfortunately, has tumbled down and is out of this final. That is a big shame. We're on lap 15. Ella Häkkinen, setting the fastest lap of the race, is in P6, and actually, I would say, is also closing in on this battle. There's P5 just behind Reipold. Häkkinen, though, is closing in on Reipold. That itself could be a very interesting battle, because that is closing in nicely as well, just behind this battle here. Clancy now, I suspect, is dropping off the back of Marshall. Angelina Simmons, though, is closing in on Connor Clancy, and you can see that now. Simmons is much closer to Clancy than Clancy is to Marshall. As we go on to lap 16 now, the penultimate lap of the race, time is quickly running out for these top drivers, especially with the likes of Ella Häkkinen closing in. So Häkkinen certainly piling on the pressure there behind Reipold, but eyes on this battle. This is Marshall, Clancy and Simmons, second, third and fourth on track. James Anagnostidis is clear down the road. He's 1.7 seconds clear. All he needs to do is just get that car to the end of this race. But these three, they've still got a bit of work to do here now. Marshall looks comfortable where he is. He's not got too much pressure from Clancy just behind. And I think it's Clancy who's going to start thinking about maybe having to go defensive here, because he checks over the shoulder and sees Angelina Simmons closing in nicely here. Simmons, who set the fastest lap earlier on in the race, is looking for another position here, and already defensive now goes Clancy on this final lap of the race. Simmons will take the optimal line, will now get right on that rear bumper, potentially could go for a move here in towards turn 3. Is it close enough? No, is the answer. Stays behind, and now on the exit, bashes into the back, has got the momentum and had the exit there, pushes Clancy along now as the two of them start to do battle here at Valencia in the junior final here for the OKN category, down in towards turn 11. And again, Clancy goes defensive, takes the optimal line then, does Simmons, is on the outside. Oh, but Clancy's going to run her wide, and that is a brilliant defensive move there from Clancy, and holds on to the position. But Simmons' tires will not like that at all. Reipold and Häkkinen go through, but this man here, James Anagnostidis, he will win the first final in Valencia for round 2 of the Champions of the Future. It is James Anagnostidis from Australia. 50 championship points goes his way. He misses out on the fastest lap point, but he certainly helps out his championship fight as he steps up just that little bit more against Casper Reipold, who finishes in P4. Marshall holds on to second place ahead of Connor Clancy in third place. Reipold finishes in fourth ahead of Ella Häkkinen in a P5 finish ahead of Angelina Simmons. Toby Gale finishes in P7 from Dinia Islamov, finishing in P8. Vanessa Shilkanate from Xavier Dedkovsky rounding out the top 10. But for James Anagnostidis, that is a superb drive, and I'm sure tomorrow he would like another round just like that. James Anagnostidis from Australia, he takes the win from William Marshall and Connor Clancy in third place. Well, drivers make their way back to Parc Fermé. We'll go over the full classifications just now. We've gone over the top 10, and 11th is Leonardo Peruzzi, finishing just outside the top 10. Sara Matsui from Egon Pedrotti, Case Aziza from Victoria Farfus up to P15. That is drive of the weekend so far. 20 places gained for the Brazilian. Max Murray finishes in 16th, but also with that in-race time penalty. Then a little further down, you've got Oscar Gallin, Emilia Wiszomirska, both gaining positions as well.